Oshi No Ko is not a romance anime, but it is most definitely about love. From the interpersonal relationships between characters to the overarching themes of the series, love has its fingerprints on everything. But not in the dreamy sense of the other shows that I cover on this channel normally. Love is twisted, leveraged, manipulated in this anime. It can be a tool to carry out a mission, a weapon to hurt another. And our cast of characters are a messed up bunch, from the big players all the way down to the minor appearances. I would go as far as to say that Oshi No Ko is a show about all of the different ways that love can be messed up. And with Season 3's trailer just coming out in the last couple of days, there's no better time to dig into the first 2 seasons. So that's what we're gonna do, examining each character in turn and how love plays into their lives. Let's talk about it. There is no better place to start than with Ai, the mother to our 2 main characters. Even before her untimely death, everything about her is tragic. Being an idol has irreparably warped her idea of what love is. And of course, how could it not? She's only 16 when we first meet her, a child. The idea that there are legions of fans who adore her just like Goro, track her every movement on social media, is deeply unsettling. As a result, the show makes clear that lies are a core part of the idol experience. But when you are an idol, and lies are essential to what an idol is, what's left over? What part of you is not consumed by the lies? Ai says it herself on the rooftop of the hospital. Lies are the most exquisite love. She doesn't quite see it herself yet, but this perspective is indicative of a severe warping of her sensibilities. The reason that comments online about her seeming fake cut so deep is that she has compromised her true self in the pursuit of stardom. The fans crave that inhuman perfection that she has painstakingly crafted, but it's not a mask that she wears. She has whittled down her own life to fit that shape. What the fans feel for her is not love, it's obsession, and that's why it leaves her feeling so hollow. Having the twins draws this sacrifice into sharp focus for Ai. The love that Aqua and Ruby feel for Ai is true, and gives her a glimpse into what a different version of herself would have been like, one where she hasn't sacrificed so much already. But she can't take back what has happened. And the side of her that looks to maximize her value as an idol still comes out at moments like these. Ai's experience with acting is another blow to her psyche, where her perfect persona comes to bite her. She can't overshadow the main actors, so she gets cut from the final product. If you've sacrificed everything to be perfect, being rejected like that would be a deeply unsettling experience. The real reveal of Ai comes at the end of the first episode, where she finally admits to us that the lie of being an idol extends beyond just her fans, to everyone in her life. She had a traumatic childhood, one without love, and never came to love herself. Her agent assures her that this is okay, and suggests that maybe if she lies about love, it will become true one day. But this is futile. Ai is in many ways the perfect idol because she cannot love. Wanting desperately to feel it, to lie to try to make it true, creates the perfect idol persona. The only sacrifice to make it real was Ai herself, and she only really sees that at the end of her life. Even her response to her attacker is a sad reminder of this, where she still can't shake that desire for love that has gripped her for so long. But at the very end, she is able to say it to her children and mean it. It doesn't make up for the years of twisting herself to fit other people's standards, but it is a final small triumph at the very end. Ai spent her entire life in search of real love. It destroyed her, warped her soul, but she did find it. Aqua and Ruby are the obvious characters to examine next. So much of their relationships to love, both before and after reincarnation, have to do with Ai. Both of their past selves were fans of Ai's. Dying and being reborn to her as twins has its own distorting effect on their perceptions of love. Every child idolizes their parents to a certain degree, but that's not what this is. They are both starting from a place of obsession with Ai's idol self, and they project this image of perfection onto her. In this sense, they don't ever get to know their mother for who she really is. Losing their mother would be traumatic enough, but in this show it martyrifies their mental image of Ai in a way that doesn't ever leave them. Ai will always be this perfect figure looming over them. For Aqua, it sends him down the path of revenge, and for Ruby, it makes becoming an idol herself imperative. Both of them get sealed off from love, in a sense, as a result, in the same way that Ai herself was. Aqua's perception of love twists into a vehicle for exacting his revenge. His relationships with Kana and Akane are driven and altered by this view of love. He goes on the dating show and begins a relationship with Akane because of what he can get from it, not some deeper affection. All the way through until the end of Season 2, he is manipulating her for his own means. And with Kana, who he seems to hold stronger feelings for, he denies his feelings due to the trouble it might cause her as an idol. He's always in the driver's seat with his relationships, which I think is a good sign that his idea of love is fundamentally flawed. It's equally telling that once he thinks that his quest for revenge is over, the ideas of love and companionship only really start to poke their heads. Similar to Ai, the years of his life that have been taken up by figuring out his mother's killer have taken their toll on his capacity to love. I'm really interested to see where Season 3 goes, because we are just starting to peel back these layers of his character. Ruby has her own interpretation of love, one tied into her past life and the wish that Ai bestowed upon her to be an idol. Being reincarnated after a shorter life than Aqua, she is still quite naive about many parts of teenage and adulthood. She craves the adoration of fans and the experiences of being an idol. And how tough is that she couldn't see how this life crushed her own mother? Ruby wishes to be an idol in the way that Ai described her own idea of idols, before the industry curtain was pulled back. That's its own warped idea of love, reinforced by the memory of her late mother. Combined with this is the love that Ruby had in her past life for Aqua's past self. Beyond the twisted knots of being reborn as the sister of the older doctor you were in love with, this also puts a hopelessness into Ruby's desires. She dreams of the man she once knew, but we as an audience understand that this is impossible. At certain moments, though, we see another, more cynical side to Ruby, one that only comes out briefly. It's clear that losing Ai had a deeper impact on how she views love, one that we're just diving into with the end of Season 2. The finale is a funeral of sorts for Ruby's innocence, and as we move forward and see how she views being an idol and those around her, we will learn more about her own specific idea of what love means. Okay, so pulling back the curtain a bit, I was planning on talking about Akane and Kana next, but I think that I'm going to save that for another video. Maybe another love and anime, or a split screen comparing the two of them. I really think that they deserve their own spotlight. Both of them are some of my favorite characters. If you want to see that and you're not subscribed, that would be a convenient way to see the next video. I won't push that anymore. With that in mind though, I'm going to move on to the conclusion and the AMV parts of the video. Oshi No Ko is a show about the corrupting power of fame. Love serves as a sort of opposite to that force. They're like oil and water in the show, where love is spoken about plenty in the series, but rarely ever seen. Instead, we have a cast of characters who all use their own idea of love for their own purposes. At the center of this dynamic are Ai and her 2 children. Through their relationships to their work and each other, they each demonstrate their own interpretation of what love is, but each one with its own flaws. It's so funny to think that the same creator made this story and Love is War. In Love is War, love is continually pushed away for what feels like an eternity before finally being realized. In Oshi No Ko, love is constantly invoked by all of the characters, but never seems to really be there. Funny how opposite those 2 ideas are.
It's late and dark in my room. I can't help from thinking of you. If I could do it all over, I'd pull you closer and never let go. You slipped right through my fingers, like you slipped out through my door. The shape of you, it lingers, but I won't see you anymore.
And that ends this week's episode of Love and Anime. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Oshi No Ko is a show very dear to me and this channel. My first really successful video was talking about it. And this AMV is my favorite so far. This one was also made by the always fantastic Somber. I encourage you to check out his stuff below in the description. If you enjoyed, leaving a like and a comment and hitting the hype button on mobile would mean a ton to me. The most dangerous thing to do on YouTube is to get your hopes up about a video, but this one would mean the world if it did well. As always, I'm SlamAnime, and I'll catch you on Monday for Split Screen.